What up, people? It's your boy Master Chudy out here with another review. So we're out here doing something different. I'm out in the park, there's a cookout waiting to happen. I have an event that I'm doing with some people, and I thought that before it officially starts, I get out a comic review in time. So we're out in the daylight, out with nature and all that good stuff. So I went to get myself Nightwing, the New Order. Thought to see a different take on our hero here. And it's an intriguing story. Very well done. And I'm very hyped for the next issue that'll come out. So let's do this. So we have right here, basically... Oh man, the glare is too much. But anyway, we have right here... Nightwing basically, parenting. He's got this weapon. People are devastated. There's a lot of destruction and everywhere like that. And then we see on the next page, Superman is down for the count. And it looks like Nightwing had a hand in not only taking down Superman, he's apologizing, he's sorry, Clark, but he had to save the world. And we see all this destruction. We see all the heroes all laying down and taken down, seeming to be dead. Even Lex Luthor over here. And this took place 12 years ago, so apparently now we have Nightwing. Time has passed a little bit older. He's chasing after Arthur Light, also known as Dr. Light. Interesting that they should put a Teen Titan villain to have Dick be chasing down. So they're chasing, they're running. And he's telling him that he needs to take, surrender because I gotta catch you. So anyway, Dick calls back up, so he has these guys, he now has these guys working for him. See Dr. Light uses his light powers, and we see that Dick is still chasing after him, and Dr. Light is still trying to capture this guy. And Dick is apparently the commander of a new group of people called the Crusaders that basically run this authoritarian rule in Gotham City. So then, moving forward, we see that Dr. Light's still running. The Crusader's telling him this is his last warning. That he needs to stand down. So he's saying that you're not taking me, so he blinds them and keeps running. And we see that during this whole thing, we see that apparently Nightwing's son is narrating the whole thing. He basically says right here, like, in 2028, my dad saved the world, but it was complicated. And every time I asked him about it, he said the same thing. We make the hardest decisions for the people we care about the most, which is, interesting. So, Nightwing captures Dr. Light, and he's saying that he didn't do anything. And Dick is like, this is not true. Basically, that this is not true. And he's like, you've been delinquent on 2 weeks. And he's saying, Dr. Light's saying that I've been taking my meds. And he's like, Nightwing's like, well, you've been using your power, so clearly you haven't been. And Dr. Light's trying to say, like, this thing is messing with my head and I can't take him anymore. But he's like, you're going to take your meds. And we see that his son basically says to him, basically still there, it's like, eventually I learned what he meant. Eventually I learned how even good people can believe in really terrible things. So we see that his son is having doubts about his father. But we get this really good page. Like, you now see something like a Neo-Gotham. It's not necessarily like Batman Beyond, but this is definitely like a more semi-modern time futuristic Gotham. And he basically is saying like that. So basically Nightwing is like, okay, we got him, let's move out. And then he's at a press conference basically explaining that, Dr. Light didn't take his meds, so we have to go and we have to sedate him. And they asked whether he was concerned about, the press asked if he was concerned about his criminal past. And he's like, yeah, I was concerned because it was illegal to possess metahuman abilities in the United States. So he basically there's also stories about black market powers coming through, and he's saying that he can't comment on that. And he's like, all right, thanks for the press, I'll see you around, and we see that he's adored by, many people, signing an autograph of him being Nightwing back in the day. So basically, he meets it to one of his co-workers. They have a good repertoire. Commenting about his age. That he shouldn't be out there tracking down these bad guys. But he's like, hey, I got to do what I got to do, and I'm in charge, and I'm the boss, so I can do whatever I want. Which is interesting. So, we still get this rapport. It's a nice rapport between his subordinate and himself. So, even though Dick is like a dictator in this, he still has a lot of the qualities that make him Dick, which is interesting. So, we see that another subordinate is in his chair, and he's like, he's got to see this. And apparently, the inhibitor serum that represses people's powers that Dick administered to Light, a factory was destroyed, which was 3 months worth of inhibitors, and we see that it's a particular person that Dick knows, and they say, do you think it's him? And the guy who will mention it to him right here, Brady, mentions that the security would have seen him, and then he's like, okay, basically I'll look over it myself, and apparently he's got dinner to see. He's going to his family apparently. So, we see that his son pretty much narrates that his father has been trying to lead this balanced life of him being like a benevolent dictator, but at the same time trying to be like this normal, all-American family guy in Gotham. And he's like, and his kid begins to doubt, like, my father's not really my father. He's just acting like that. So we see that Nightwing has a son named Jake, and apparently we see that Alfred is also here as well. So, they just talk, and they have, family dynamic, good talk, everything like that, what makes Nightwing, good stuff like that. So, he heads up onto bed, and then we begin to see Alfred and Nightwing have this talk, and, he's saying that Dick really wants Alfred to remain in Gotham. Alfred's out in quote-unquote retirement in Arizona, and Alfred's asking if he's heard anything from, basically his son's mother, Jake. So we continue to see that he asks whether Jake asks about his mother, and he doesn't know. He doesn't ask as much as he used to. So it looks like he knows it's hard and everything like that. But we see that Alfred is asking him, like, I heard what you did to Arthur Light. How much of Master Bruce's money did you spend? And Dick is trying to defend himself, saying that that's not how the law is passed, and how the law against superpowers was passed. And he was like saying, like, Alfred's saying, like, you're forcing people to suppress something that's natural. And Dick is saying, like, superpowers are not natural. Like, of course not. Like, and he's like, and Alfred's like saying, what about for those the inhibitor doesn't work on? It's like, I've heard about these, how they're kept in stasis in these storage factories or something like that. And Dick is still trying to defend himself, saying, like, look, it's not permanent. We just have to figure out what to do. And, and in this one, Bruce is dead. And he's like saying, you saw how things bad were before Bruce was dead, what happened in Metropolis, where we saw Superman and all the superpowered individuals get blown up, basically. And, he's trying to make Alfred understand, and Alfred's like, I can't understand. I just can't. So we see, his son basically also talked to him, saying, like, why did you quit being Nightwing? It's like, and he's like saying, like, it's because I hurt people, basically. And apparently Dr. Light was an uncle of a kid that he's been having trouble with at school, and he's saying, like, he wasn't angry at me because I got to play basketball. He was mad because he's like saying everything was worse ever since you took over. And so he basically asks, so if you manage to get rid of all the powers, some still had theirs. And it's like, yeah, which is why we have the inhibitor serum. And he's like, and people got hurt. And it's like, is that why you stop being Nightwing? And he said, that's part of it. And I said, do you regret it? Do you regret not being Nightwing? And he said, I regret that people got hurt. And then he's trying to ask them, why are you still hurting people like Dr. Light? So his son is really trying to understand why his father is on this path, which is like a very good dynamic. And Dick says, like, because right now, as painful as it is, this is what the world needs. And sometimes we make the hardest decisions for the people we care about. So it's that one phrase that his son begins to have doubts of. So he's like saying, over the years, I thought about that conversation a lot, about Dad's conviction, about my naivete, but most of all, I think about it as our last real moment together. Oh. So we see that, you know, their thermal scans, he's reporting at the factory site of the serum that got blown up. And so we see this yellow flash. So we see that, so Nightwing confirms it is him. So this secret facility was secret top secret. If Wally West found this site, and then, so it appears that Wally West is the one. One of the Flashes, formerly known as Kid Flash, Wally West is the one who's attacking these places. And it makes sense, like, Dick and Wally have always had a great relationship, so to have them against each other is really interesting. So we apparently see that Dick Grayson has to answer a phone call. So his son is like, so by this point you probably figured out what this story is, right? I mean, all the clues are there. The son who worships his father, the father who wants to make the world a better place for his son. And then, you know, he's talking with the teacher, and the teacher's saying that there's something wrong with your son, and she wanted to keep it discreet. So I think you know what's going to happen in the next page. So it said, in 2028, my dad took away 90% of the world's superpowers. He then built a career as the face of the Crusaders, hunting down the remaining powers in the United States. It's like, the man who had been the heart and soul of the superhero community made a decision to turn against the people who trusted him. But all of that was just leading up to the day when he'd have to make the hardest decision of all. And he's like, oh, Jake. It's like, what to do about me? It's like, Dad, I'm so sorry. And then we see in the next issue, like, mother like son. So this, and I believe that his mother has to be Starfire. Because I can't see anything else other than him gaining on powers. So, yeah. This was a great issue. I'm hooked. This is a great story. It's simple and short. Like, we have that Nightwing that's become a dictator, and he loves his family, but now his son has powers. What's he gonna do? This is what, you know, it's like the guy definitely got inspired by parts of the X-Men, and is now doing the right thing, as opposed to, like, a majority of the X-Men books that are out in Marvel. So, this is how you do, like, an Elseworld story, how you do, like, a what-if scenario. Definitely good. Definitely good. I give this an 8.5 out of 10. I would recommend you guys get it. So once again, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of my videos when they come out. I thank y'all, and once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to get my views out and hear what you got to say about them. So once again, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.